Riverdale. What was it called?
In a Lonely Place.
They did not find love in a lonely place.
No.
That was bad. I don't know.
In a hopeless place.
Hopeless place, sure. Okay.
Veronica is still hard, like, just laying into Hermione.
This one wasn't my favorite episode either.
Yeah.
I can kind of remember watching it, and it, like...
It was a little boring.
It's fine. The FP stuff I just find really kind of, like, cringy.
It's, like,
He's not this character for long.
Yeah, but he's, like a hard alcoholic in this episode.
But it's like on top of being a hard alcoholic, he's also he's as cliche as he can be.
Yeah.
Like a cliche alcoholic.
Yeah.
Because there's such a thing as a functioning alcoholic, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it's also like, this is meant to be sort of like the height of his involvement with the serpents, and there is nary a serpent to be found besides FP. It's like we haven't met any other serpent except for Joaquin, like barely. And so I'm like,
it's like necessary, like we need this, but it's like not exciting, and it's definitely not exciting rewatching it.
I think I agree with you. We need it in the sense that we need to know this history between Fred and FP. But it also is like, you know, it starts with FP clearly coming off a bender, coming to say like good morning to Jughead or whatever, and it's just like, oh my god, like, is this really what we're doing right now?
And his like masculinity is like in question, and it's just
Not
like,
a fan.
and I mean everybody's on the same page. Everybody gets it, and graciously Fred like swats away every single attempt at like
Fred. God love Fred.
And then at the end, they both stand on opposite sides of the parking lot and call Jughead. And, like they're like whistling and snapping to see which one he's gonna go to.
Where do you want to sleep? You want to sleep in the drunkard's trailer?
Well, then he chooses his dad, and his dad was like, "Oh yeah, just kidding."
You should go.
Because it was really shit. I forgot that part because he was like, "No, I want the knowledge of victory. I'm not actually gonna do it."
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
Like you said, luckily FP is not like this for long.
No.
But
and then the fucking the Blossoms never stop being pieces of work, and they do properly characterize. I mean, Penelope is kind of always a villain, but she goes comical villain in a way that she's very serious villain.
It's very grounded right now.
But Cheryl also, I forgot how like schizophrenic Cheryl was with this stuff, because it's like they soften and ground Cheryl a little bit, because she comes in so fucking hot that
so hot where it's hashtag Polly Cooper killed my mother, and it's like, no, there's like not enough proof of any of that.
And so we did forget to mention actually that Polly's pregnant. And she also escaped. We didn't mention that either.
I did mention she was pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, I said unwed mothers.
Well.
But, yeah.
You inferred.
Well, follow along.
And she escaped, like, Lydia Martin style off into the night. Yeah. And there was, like, a search party, but also an angry mob, like, concurrently, so, like, in, like, the middle of the afternoon.
So, like, Betty organized a search party with her parents and all their friends and Sheriff Keller, and then the Blossoms organized what was half a search party so they could find Polly first and become an angry mob.
It happens a second time. Isn't there, like, the entire Blossom family out in the forest at one point in, like, season 2?
That sounds right.
I remember, like Blossom relatives coming out of the woodwork. They all have red hair, I think.
Yeah, they do all have red hair, for sure.
But, and then there is a truly stupid subplot of Veronica going clubbing. I looked at your face. Are you there with me? Okay. It's so patronizing, the way she's talking to Kevin, explaining to him that they are literal props for her because her real toys are at home in New York.
Yeah.
So whenever,
but he doesn't. He's like too much of a yokel to be offended
he's
by
such
it.
a local. I never even thought he's just glad to be invited.
He's like, oh my god, yeah, I'll be your gay token.
He's Melanie Linsky in the Ever After.
Yes,
I'm only here for
I'm
the
only here
food.
for the food.
Oh my god, I remember that hitting me sideways the first time. And then, cause she was like, she needs a celebrity, her best gay, and some man candy. And so she settles for Josie, Kevin, and Reggie.
Yeah.
And I just want to imagine the car ride over there with Reggie and Josie and Kevin. Like, cause they clearly know each other,
But they're not friends.
And also, those types of combinations don't happen sophomore year. That's some late senior year shit where you're like, huh.
Yeah, that's like a 4 days before.
That's like
graduation.
senior week, yeah.
4 days before graduation trip.
And so they go to some club. This is one of those, you get this
It's called Roman Eyes.
That's actually pretty good. You get this with most teen soap operas, especially ones that have any element of supernatural, where it's like, there's like a time warp when the sun goes down, where it's like the hours between like 5:30 and midnight, it's like 15 hours.
Yeah.
Because they go to this club, and the implication is that they're rolling, because he makes sure to tell her that she needs to hydrate.
Yeah,
and also he says something about going full Black Swan. So it's like twice over it's implied they're rolling. And this is also where we go full-blown knockoff, because she had a Glamazon order and her American Access card. Yeah. So from here on out, we're like full-blown cartoon territory.
We're
as far
just
as
waiting for the Glamour-J.
Yeah. And so she's like playing ball with Hermione, with her mom, I guess.
She's like playing chicken with Hermione.
There you go. Yeah. And also, they're like super rude to this like poor club owner who's just trying to make an honest living in Riverdale. Like all of them, they're being such dicks.
Well, so he comes up and he's like, "I'm sorry, your card has been declined," which honestly, like, boss move.
Let me guess.
Yeah. Boss move on Hermione's part in the first place, because that's what you do. And
it's also been reported stolen.
Yeah, Veronica's attitude in this whole. But then automatically they're like, "Oh, do you want to make a scene? Because we'll tell everybody that you've been serving underage people alcohol." And I was like...
And which Josie's like, "And I don't think my mom, the mayor." It's like, I was like,
I don't
okay.
think my mayor, the inventor of toast.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
I was like, y'all need to get the fuck out. Did Reggie say 2 words the entire episode?
No, there's no reason for Reggie to be...
I'm surprised he had a shirt on. Like...
They're in the car on the way over, and Veronica's like, "Okay, well, for your part, you need to take your shirt off."
Just pinching nipples, like, just, I don't know. It was weird, the whole thing. So the Polly's fucking hunkered down in the attic. It's so stupid.
It's pretty stupid.
And so the Blossoms turn on a dime the second they find out that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And they're like whole hog. And I feel like because Cheryl was all over the place. Like, although, I mean, if Cheryl loves one thing, it is Jason.
That's the thing, is like, I feel like Cheryl would have made almost any exception to get a piece of Jason back.
Yeah.
So, but I also feel
sometimes literally.
I also do feel that, like, they all are potentially, like, well, there's still, like, a piece of Jason out there. If she's pregnant, there's no way she killed him. So I think they, like, but then Penelope and Clifford get
very
real weird again.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers real quick.
Yeah.
And Cheryl wises up, and she just, like, I'll tell you off camera, I had a comparison that doesn't make any sense, but she just, like, so this is like the 4th breakneck pivot Cheryl does this episode alone, where she's like, "Run for the hills, Polly, like, they're coming for you." Just like,
to the point where you think there's actually going to be a mob.
Yeah.
And she's gonna have to, like, tunnel down through Pops.
And so, thank God, when one of their billionaire backup options falls through, they have another billionaire backup option. So she goes to the 5 Seasons to stay with her best girlfriend, Hermione Lodge.
Yeah, it's like, Polly has certainly never even met them.
Yeah.
And it's
But Hermione Lodge is ride or die for the Cooper girls, apparently. So
true.
Even
She's
though
very
Alice
sweet.
Cooper straight, like, menaced her.
Okay, here is my thing about that, though, is that it is essentially Hermione and Fred are the only ones of the parents who are like, these kids did not commit the crimes.
Yeah.
They are not responsible. Every other parent is like, you're that one's child, you must be trash.
Also, wait until we meet Reggie's parents, but...
That's true.
So, is that... it? That feels like that might be it.
This was not a plot-heavy episode. It was like not... That's, I think, why we think it's kind of boring, is because not a lot actually happens.
I just wrote down that murder in Polly Cooper. We need to do Scream Queens. Oh, yeah, they talk about Gladys in this episode, and I don't know who the fuck they're talking about, because it's not Gladys. She's getting her GED
She took Jillian and went to go stay with my
her mom,
grandparents.
yeah.
That's like, that doesn't sound like the Gladys we come to know.
So, I just wrote Jughead Jones can't read.
Well, Jughead
He
can
can read,
he
but-
can definitely read, but he's living in the school.
Yeah.
It's a similar.
So now he's staying with Archie, and Archie's making him sleep on a blow-up mattress. It's like, Archie.
What would you think? Share the bed or okay? I mean, they've been friends forever too. Like, what's gonna happen?
So, okay.
All right, that was episode 7. Bye.